Hi, Statesman Nation. We are here with head baseball coach Mike Laird as we preview the 2025 season. Coach, before we get into 25, let's backtrack and talk about 24. A lot of good stuff. Some stuff that you could have been better, but let's recap that real quick.
Yeah, we finished really strong, which was good to see and got us into the conference tournament. We had some guys really perform real well in kind of all or nothing situations. We did have a couple big injuries. Abe Arroyo, who had been first team All-League in 23 and led the conference actually in RBIs, he was out about 8 weeks, and that was a really big hole right there. That hurt us offensively quite a bit. But yeah, and we did have, in retrospect or looking back, I guess, we had one really bad weekend in the conference. You don't want to do that early, and we did. We played really poorly on the road with Baker, 0-4 out of that trip. That's not what you want to start off with. So we're trying to avoid that, obviously. And yeah, we got to be a little bit more ready to play, I think, early, and I think we will be.
Sure. All right, let's talk about the offseason, what you're looking to improve upon, what areas, what positions possibly you were looking to recruit from.
Yeah, I was, I guess, spent the better part of the summer trying to put some things together, put the at least the varsity guys, the guys we thought were going to be varsity. So I recruited actually a couple more transfers. I'd almost under-recruited transfers the previous 2 years, and I think a little bit of it reflected in how we ended up, even though we didn't end up bad. It's just that I think we needed to get a little bit better. It's particularly pitching depth was an area that I was trying to fix, and I think we did. I think we got that fixed, and just overall athleticism in 2 or 3 other positions, and I think we're going to be a lot better. I do, across the board.
Okay. All right, let's break down the roster. Let's start with those pitchers.
Well, numero uno is obviously Abel Medueno, who's pitcher of the year in the Hart Conference. That guy was just unbelievable. He's not only a big force out on the field, which goes without saying, but he's also a great leader for us, and a really good person, really good human being. So you got to start with him. He's a dominating type guy, and I'm glad he's back this year for sure. We've got a couple other guys that have come in that appear to be, in position to take over the 2 and 3 hole starters. One of them is Joe Taylor. Joe Taylor he's a California guy as well, like Abel is. And Taylor has plus stuff, movement. He's got good velo too. He's a very good pitcher. So I'm sure Joe will give us a really good 1-2 punch along with Abel. And Drayton Levine transferred in from Wartburg. He's looked really strong, and he's a 5th-year senior type guy, and I think he wants to prove something, and he's looked really good. Andreas Pineda, who pitched some last year, he beat Grandview game. I think he had a couple wins. But he was kind of a little bit of his fledgling pitching debut last year, somewhat. He's always had good arm strength as an infielder, but we put him on the hill, and he had some pretty good results at times. And another guy that we've got from Illinois Central, Thornton, is he could start possibly 2 on the hill. He's got real good stuff. Not a power pitcher, but he's got outstanding stuff and a weird kind of an arm angle that's kind of difficult to pick up. So, to start with those guys right there, potential starters. And then we've got some other guys like Ryan Chamberlain is back, and he's more of a reliever type guy, but he's had a lot of experience. And Jack Nesji's been here this is his 3rd year. It looks like he's gonna be getting in there, and perhaps Ben George, Nick's younger brother. It's his 3rd year. It's kind of time for him to see some action, I think. So another guy, Tyler Corkhill, another transfer who could see some action, and Aaron Oliveras is a lefty, another transfer. Aaron is kind of sneaky, little lefty, but he's been coming on. So I think our depth is much better, and I think our filling out the weekend starters is going to be, we're going to be have more depth to play with.
Sweet. All right, let's talk about the other end of the battery, the catchers.
Aiden North comes back as he was the primary starter last year. He ended up hitting really well for a freshman. I didn't see that coming. I think he hit 305, which is unusual in this league to come in as a freshman and be able to do that. He's got some things to throwing wise, mechanically, that we want to improve a little bit, but he's coachable. He makes adjustments, so I'd say he's probably the front runner right now. Anyway, Riley's back. He caught quite a bit, especially Medueno. Big kid. He's a junior. As a freshman a couple years ago, he really looked like he was going to develop into a serious power hitter because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Big guy, big hands, real strong. But he kind of dropped off last year and hit about 150, so I'm not sure. Yeah, and another guy, Jagger Mitchell, is a transfer. Mitchell's got a ton of energy, really communicates well, really directs traffic as far as the catching position is concerned, and he's definitely going to see some action as well. And he and Aiden can both probably play a little bit of corner infield if needed to try and get a couple of them in the lineup too. So I would say those three guys primarily.
All right. Infield starting at first base.
First base is Hector Dominguez.
Another big body.
The big guy.
Big guy.
Yeah, 6'3", 275 lefty. What's not to like about that? So, no, he's a great guy too. He's just tremendous power potential, but he also hits for average. Good defender over there. Pretty close to making Gold Glove, not quite last year. He's going to be a huge impact guy over there. So I would say he's for sure going to be in that position, starting position. Corners, got a couple guys. New guy named Keone Young from College of Southern Nevada, and he looks to have he's got the edge there right now. He's just a very strong all-around player, very good player, and he's got some pop. And yeah, he's played in a great program out in Southern Nevada, so he's been well schooled and well coached prior to coming here. And Froymer Ortega played quite a bit last year, a lot for us there. He's also got a chance to get in there and maybe even move over to second periodically if necessary. Froymer, we're also looking at him throwing the ball a little bit in a relief role. He's got a pretty darn good arm, a legit upper 80s arm, and he drops down a little bit. And he could be, and I'm not saying he'd be our closer, but he's going to get a few innings there too. So anyway, we're looking at also Marco Ayala. Marco played quite a bit at second base. Andres Pineda played primarily at second base last year, but Marco played some too, but he had a couple arm issues, and he fought that this fall as well. So if he's healthy, he'll get an opportunity to play also. A couple guys in the middle that have looked really good. Enid Perez, shortstop. Enid is an interesting guy. He broke his ankle in the fall playing pickup basketball out here. That's a no-no. It happened, and so we didn't get his own. Got to see him like a couple weeks, then he was out. But Enid is going to be, he's a young guy. He's played 1 year at Galveston Community College down in Texas. Got good body, good arm action. He's got good skills. He's going to be a very good player, good-sized guy. Does a lot of the right things. I mean, he's going to have to just come in and kind of take over that position more than likely. Second base, it looks primarily like Carlos Herrera will probably be there. Carlos has played at JUCO, Sullivan out in New York. Carlos is a great guy. He's got good skills too. He needs to clean up a couple things, but we're not too bad in there. It's going to be probably three new JUCO guys, or transfer guys, I should say, on the infield, along with Hector Dominguez at first.
Okay. Outfield.
Well, fortunately, we've got Abe Arroyo back. He barely got back for the tournament, and played just a little bit. Here's a guy that had 58 RBIs in 23, led the league, and very good, very, very good hitter, legit hitter. And then he's out of the lineup almost the entire year. But he's back, and I'm glad he's back, and he's healthy. He's had a difficult time staying healthy his whole career, even in junior college, out for the whole year with a hamstring or something, and that's kind of plagued him. Good thing is he had that year left, and so I look for him, and he's a very good leader too. Along with Abel and Hector, those are kind of the three guys I'd say are maybe unnamed captains, but they, people listen to them and they say the right things. They've got the right mental attitude and work ethic and everything. So, but anyway, also Zach Otten in center will likely be in center field. Zach started a little bit slow out there, but he ended up becoming the Gold Glove guy Gold Glove center fielder in the Heart. He really made some great plays, and he threw some people out that I didn't know he could throw out. There were really have-to plays, like conference tournament. He threw a guy out from center field at the plate. And so he's done some of that, and he really came alive. He gets to about everything now. He did struggle a little bit early, but that's probably his spot. Over in left field, it looks like a new guy named Bradley Soto. Bradley is he's another good player, and he can hit. He hit 400 in junior college, and he's got skills. He can run. He's got a plus arm. He's going to steal some bags. He's got a little pop too in the bat, and he's a good sized guy. He's like 6'1.5", about 195. He's got a lot of scouts would say tools. He's got some tools, and so it's interesting. Those guys are. We've got a pretty good mix, and I don't see there aren't any like glaring holes in the lineup.
Sure.
Last year we get down to, and I know I may be stepping on a couple toes, but we'd get down to 6, 7, 8 guys, and it was like, okay, can we scrape out somebody on base, or can we,
to flip over the lineup?
It just didn't happen that much this year. I think we're better that way.
Sure, definitely. All right, and obviously you kind of talked about a bunch of guys that could fit in as DHs if they don't get into the lineup in the field. So, all right, let's go into the schedule. Non-conference wise, you guys are going down to Kansas City, Kansas, as well as Joplin. Pretty normal trips down there. Going to see a bunch of good talent. So talk about how that's going to prepare you for the Heart.
Well, actually, the first game, and typically, matter of fact, I don't know if I've ever played in January since I've been here, and that goes back to 1873. But we play January 31st, Friday the 31st. Excuse me. And that's in Salina, Kansas,
right,
against Kansas Wesleyan. They're ranked 12th. Kansas Wesleyan was in the World Series last year. There's a couple other ranked teams in that tournament, or teams that are like 25th, 26th in the voting, like Doane out of Nebraska. They're very, very good. And also, I don't know if I say this, University of Arts and Sciences from Oklahoma, they're picked to win their conference. They are very, very good. I mean, that's with Oklahoma City, and all those people are picked to win it.
Sure.
So that's 3 out of the 4 games over there in that little round robin. That's just going to be really tough, right out of the pack probably. Then we have a weekend off, and then I think we go to Joplin's the next weekend. Playing Concordia down there. They're ranked 20th. We got them a couple times, actually. We got Concordia 3 games, and they're very, very good. We were fortunate enough to split with them last year, but and then we've got a couple conference schools we actually play either in Joplin or in Kansas City later that are not on our conference schedule. And one of them is Graceland, and one of them is Culver Stockton. So it's kind of a little unusual. But the schedules, Morningside, Dakota State, Dakota Wesleyan, those are all, they're all very, very good schools, either getting votes or right next to it or even ranked. So it's one of the tougher non-conference schedules we've ever had, but that obviously should really help us heading into the Heart.
Yeah, definitely. And then you get into the Heart, and it's every Friday, Saturday or Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, mostly Saturday, Sunday until the end of the year. So, what are you looking at for the Heart? And who are the normal suspects, and where do you figure willing to fit in there?
The normal suspects, of course, are CMU, Central Methodist. I think they're ranked 13th or something like that, and they're. We got them one time up here last year. We should have had them two. They had a 3-run homer in the 7th, which put it into 8 innings. They got us Mid-Am. Mid-Am is very good. They're ranked in the top 25, I know. And we've beaten them 4 out of the last 8. So, we were right there almost. We just needed some more depth. We really don't have, one thing that we really don't have is we don't have there's a big dude that's going to hit 18 or home runs. We just don't have that. And play teams like Concordia, who hit like 120 last year. They had 2 guys that hit 27 home runs, which was 2 different guys, which was more than our entire team hit the whole year.
It's crazy.
There's just some teams are built that way a little bit. We have to do things a little differently. We have to really pitch carefully. We have to pitch with the wind out there at Lacey too. We can't be just throwing batting practice and let these guys have a big hack at it. So we've got to be smart what we do. And in our situational game, whether it's offense or defense, we got to try and win those and be really cognizant of execution at all times, because we can't afford to give up a big inning. We're probably not going to catch up. But back to the Heart. There are so many good schools in the Heart. Everybody probably says this about their sport, I'm sure, but Grandview's very, very good. He's got 5. He told me 5 Division I transfer pitchers in this year. 5. Okay. And he only lost 1 starter. I think it was a second baseman or DH, one of the 2. So he's got everybody back. He said they've got 34 either seniors or grad students. That's going to be tough. Yep. The talent's ridiculous. Mount Mercy's almost the same way. They kind of feed off the transfer portal. He gets a lot of D1 kickbacks. A lot of guys from that Cedar Rapids area, Kirkwood, that go somewhere and come back. They're very, very good. So it's at Park, made the, Park beat us out in 10 innings, I think, in the conference tournament, ended up going to the Nationals. Mm-hmm. We've got them 4 games this year. So it's really, really tough, but it's exciting. We gotta come out and play right away. And the non-conference will be a good barometer for, kind of getting ready for the conference.
Sure. You kind of already alluded to it, but let's throw a bow on it. What's it going to take for the team to reach the goals you guys have set?
Obviously that's kind of a normal question, you'd say, but, seriously, we got to maintain what we're doing now. I think this team really has a very strong positive culture, and they have had the last couple of years, and that's really a positive thing, and it definitely can have and usually does have an influence, particularly with close games. How you stick together, how you persevere, ups and downs and stuff, especially more of the downs. Anybody can play great when you're feeling really, I don't think I ever wake up and feel great anymore, but anybody can play really good when they play well or when it's 75 degrees or whatever, but that's not the way it is. That's not life. So we've got to be tough, and I think we will be. Our guys support each other a lot. It's really a great culture, I believe, and that's going to help us win some games. I think we're better than we were last year. I think talent-wise we're a little better, even though we lost 2 or 3 dudes. I'm talking about Nick George, Brian Thomas, even Martinez at DH once in a while was a dude. We lost some really good players, but we've also got some good guys that came in, and I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be real tough. The schedule's real tough, but I think we're a better team.
Definitely. All right. Like I said, Coach Laird of the baseball team, games like 11 days down the road. It's
a week from Friday.
Yeah, it's very soon. But yeah, I wish them the best of luck. Keep tabs on them, statesmenathletics.com, and all of our social media channels as well. So best of luck, Coach, and we'll see you down the road.
Thanks, Wade.
Thanks.